Iconic is a word that tends to be used a bit too liberally these days. But when it comes to motorsport legends, the Ford GT40 is surely a car that deserves the title more than almost anything else, especially as a whole new generation has soaked up its story in the Ford versus Ferrari film.
Tiff, don't forget your seatbelt.
Built to beat Ferrari at Le Mans after Enzo Ferrari refused to sell his company to the mighty Ford empire, it scored an historic 1-2-3 finish at the 1966 race. A Ford GT because, well, it was a Ford GT, and 40 because it was just 40 inches high. In 2003, Ford celebrated their 100th anniversary by launching a new road-going Ford GT resembling the iconic model. They could have called it a GT44 because, yes, it was 44 inches tall, but decided to settle for just GT. To celebrate the 50th anniversary of their famous Le Mans victory, Ford wanted to do something a bit more special, to build a new GT that they could take back to Le Mans and win again, not overall as they had done in 1966, but in the GT class, which meant that primarily this car was designed as a racing car. But fortunately for us, because of the regulations, they had to build a certain number of road-going versions, which means there are now over 1,000 of these stunning machines in the hands of very lucky owners. And despite balance of power regulations holding them back, the Ford GT duly won the 2016 race. Not a 1-2-3 finish this time, but first and third, with, guess who? Ferrari spoiling the party. Sadly, the regulations no longer suited a classic V8. So there's a 3.5-litre twin-turbo Ford EcoBoost V6 in the middle, producing 660 horsepower. Well, the styling is a beautiful example of form following function, as the airflow is cleverly guided around the bodywork, with these rear buttresses not only a stylish feature, but also adding torsional rigidity while guiding the airflow into the radiators and then on through to the rear wing. And in case you're wondering, no, it's not 40 inches high either, but 44 like its predecessor. Being a road car that was primarily designed to race, it does have a rather impressive party trick. Ride height down, wing up. And when you hit the brakes, that wing goes vertical and acts as an air brake. So our road-going Ford GT44 has transformed to a racing GT42. Kaaimans was set up here in the stately surroundings of Tollerton Hall, just outside Nottingham, by Gary Tolson and Ian Kershaw back in 2017. Gary with a background of selling cars and Ian with one of buying them. Passionate about cars with unique histories and collectability, they don't specialise in any particular marque. Mind you, 5 of the 24 Aston Martin Vulcans have passed through their hands. Now, these sorts of cars don't come up for sale that often, but this one, looking stunning in frozen white with lightning blue stripes, is on the market now with Kaaimans on the Carhuna platform. Sign up at carhuna.com and you can buy or sell cars like this your way today. So Tollerton Hall isn't just your magnificent showroom, it's also Ian's house, I understand.
It is, yes. It's, I mean, it's set in lovely grounds, like 130, 140 acres, and a couple of miles outside Nottingham city centre. So it's probably one of the most iconic car showrooms in the world. I know no one else has got anything like it.
I feel like I'm in a spaceship with this car. It's got a very few, you look under here, the sort of dashboard's got a split level as well.
The aerodynamics of this car, just everything is just, it's brilliant. It's just looks like a race car. Inside it feels like a race car. You know, steering wheel, everything.
And what about extras? Do these cars all come the same spec, or have we got sort of uprated?
So you get some different options. So when you actually, if you're on the list and to order, you get a big carbon fibre pack that literally you can spec the car from this carbon fibre pack. So you get the colours, the livery, etc., different wheels and stuff.
How many
like
colours
that.
do they come in?
I think there was about 7 colours that you
really?
could have.
Okay.
But all iconic for GT colours, so racing colours effectively. This car was a custom design or custom build, which means it had the racing livery, so frozen white, the blue stripes. It's got the glossy carbon pack outside, so all the accents and gloss black. Full carbon interior with Alcantara to make it a little bit more sporty. So it was really, really well thought of to almost be similar to like the Heritage. You know, traditionally the white and the blue stripes is the 4GT, livery.
What about sort of servicing a car like this? I mean, are there any problems hiding away somewhere that you've found out about?
No, but do you know something? For a hypercar, it's actually relatively cheap. This car is actually been over-serviced, so it's been serviced 3 times.
Well, 3 times for 300 miles?
I know, and it's just ridiculous. So it's probably done 60 miles since the last service. I've done 30 miles in it, and you're probably going to do 30 miles in it. But it's going in for a service. And guess how much the service is? How much would you think? For
500 quid.
700.
Oh, is it cheap?
For a hypercar, the thing is, you take dare I say it, a Pagani or a Koenigsegg in for a service, and you'll come out with, 25 grand, if not more. £700.
It's a lovely driving position as well. The pedals go backwards and forwards, so the seat's always here. It's just such a well thought out car. You can check easily what's coming. She's got great visibility even behind us. One of these hypercars, you can't see out of them.
But have you noticed as well, when you see the car outside, the actual mirrors are different. They're not symmetrical.
What?
Yes. When you see outside, you'll see. It's all to do because of the viewing of the mirrors. So that one is actually closer than that one. So it's basically you've got the perfect view around you.
We're going to be clear road. Now, how many modes have I got? So we've got sport mode, we're in normal mode.
You got sport,
what
wet.
Does sport do? Sport gives me a bit more.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you got 660 brake horsepower. This is the kind of latest version.
I mean, what about? I want to go into manual. I press the button.
Press manual, and then you've got full manual control.
Now we can go down a few gears.
There's the noise. There's the power.
Oh, the lights on the wheel. Lights on the wheel. I think we're getting a bit fast now. The only trouble is, because I'm just about to say you can sit and drive this for long distances, but unfortunately, there's nowhere to put my toothbrush.
No. That's a minor detail, but then again, it depends if you've got a passenger or not. You can always fit your golf clubs in the passenger seat. But yes, I think, it was developed aerodynamically to basically be a
So how many of the 1,350? How many came to England when they first got launched?
Less than 70.
Less than 70.
Less than
And
70
this one
cars.
was bought in England.
Yes. So the car came over, was registered in the UK, and
But all left-hand, no right-hand drive.
all left-hand drive.
Okay.
Yeah. So the UK spec cars are the same as the European, but obviously the difference is the headlights, the miles per hour, which you kind of figured out. So it's all done by Multimatic. So literally the cars will come to the UK, they'll be converted into UK spec cars and then registered to the lucky owners.
And of course, Jeremy Clarkson bought one of those first ones and sent it back, didn't he?
Yes, I mean it was all famous because he was so tall and getting in and out of the car and almost chopping his head off, but he had some electrical issues with the car and he sent it back. In hindsight, he shouldn't have because the values increased, but then the values went down and they've kind of just plateaued for a long time.
Even Jeremy would fit in this. I got a few 3 inches up there.
Well, I'm 6'2", I'm comfortable, no problem. But if you look at the previous 4GT, there was 4,000 of them. So it's almost, quadruple the amount of, the new Ford GT.
Yeah.
So with 1350, this is destined, and there's no new Ford GT. There's no plans to make it.
This is it.
This is it. That's it.
Want one, you're going to have this one.
The thing was, their plan was to race in Le Mans. They did it. So they came first, they've done it, so they've ticked the box. And it's addictive.
I love the gear change light. I'll go back down to second. Now I have to slow right down and go to first. What speed can we do in first gear? Oh yes, first gear, 33 miles an hour, 35, 36, 40, and now the lights come on, green, red, blue, and we're away, and we're doing 55 miles an hour. So it's a bit unique, like you said, Kaaimans. That's what you look for then, really. Collectability, you say. But
That's my click. It has to be.
But you must have a personal. Where's your little tweak?
And do you know something? Pagani's always been my thing.
Yeah.
I can remember selling, a Cinque Zonda years ago, and since then it's always been my thing. And I'm very, very fortunate. We've sold last year probably 5 Paganis, which is like, wow.
You don't do any restoration here, or you?
No, we've got restoration with our own collection cars, our own collection of cars, me and Ian. But I like to buy cars that have got stories, got history, that people can, translate the history and the story.
So come on, tell us who owns this one. Come on, tell us who do you buy this one off of then? Come on, I want to know the history.
No, I can't tell you.
Oh, come on.
But I can say he's a massive, massive car collector, massive enthusiast, and it took a lot of persuading for him to sell it.
The speed limit's just gone. I'm back in the de-restrict. Sorry, excuse me.
That's right.
I'm just going to get back down to first gear again.
No worries.
So I can go faster again. It's very sure-footed. The feeling through the steering is very encouraging.
It is. I mean, it's very easy to drive. Left, yeah.
Traction control, the flooring in a bit now, the traction's good. You sometimes worry these supercars that are going to be a bit scary, they'll spook you, but it doesn't tram line on those bumpy roads.
Oh, it will scare you, don't get me wrong.
Only if
you know.
Turn the toys off.
Yeah,
we're
definitely.
not allowed to turn the toys off. We're allowed to flip it down to first gear. So, if you want to buy Ford GT chassis number 193 with a very low mileage, Kaaimans on the Carhuna platform is the place to go.